on. So we get the right people in place. Could this be Santa Claus this time?
It's not Santa Claus. Come on in.
Which Santa Claus is this going to be?
It's the coach. It's part of the coaching tree that I wanted to. Over here, sir. Yeah, I had to bring Judge Forcione in to see you. Here, we're going to give you a microphone there, Judge.
Would you rather hold it or clip it on? You can clip it on. Let's clip it on. I think it's best. I'm not good with technology.
Look how very nice he looks in his
I know,
black
you raised him well, see?
And green shirt.
You can just, yep.
I'm not sure, we're just kind of looking at each other.
Yeah.
Good morning.
So talk about Tom. How did you meet and how did you?
She was just talking to me about me being a taskmaster.
Yes,
and I did
was.
not raise that issue. I don't even know
Perfect timing.
Well, I spent 11 years as his city prosecutor, and I'd like to say that I'm the John McCain of Camp Bernabei. I was, young then, and he taught me a lot of things really about discipline, doing the right thing. Because our jobs, you're going to upset, whether it's the repository, a union, somebody's going to be upset no matter what decision. And I was young and wet behind the ears, and I'd go in and see Tom, and he would say, well, what's the right thing to do? And I'd say, well, this, but he said, no, what's the right thing to do? And, I've taken that over on the bench. I mean, you have to make some tough decisions. So, that is probably one of the things that I got. But, everybody says he's a great leader. And I just want to say I was in Hilton Head with him one time when it was clear we shouldn't have went out on the boat and against the tide. And of course, this great leader who's led so many people in this town took us out there. We got stuck. Then he said, Gilligan, you got to get out and help push the boat out. And we ripped our feet out on the boat. Yeah. So that's the leadership that the city, again.
I was in the Army, not the Navy.
So that's something that I remember. Yeah.
And I do remember, when were you the city prosecutor? What was your first year as city prosecutor?
I think it was like 89 to like 2000.
Okay. Yeah. That was my first year. It was 89. Yeah. So I remember being in his office. I remember you coming in there and asking questions of him. It was like all of us went to him to ask questions.
Everybody in that county went to him. And I think they still do.
Yeah, and that's, I think that,
And again, she was talking about a task, but I mean, I think, work ethic, which I think Frank has great work ethic. In fact, I look across from my office and on many occasions, his lights are the only ones on over there still at a given time of day and so forth. We do have a great group of common pleas court judges, but we do actually, very, very much so. But work ethic and the easiest decision is really just to decide what the right thing is to do for the public interest and so forth, and just do it because somebody's going to be unhappy anyway. So
just give me 40 honest hours to everybody. Now with me, he said, I don't know how you're going to work 40 hours and think you're going to be a really good lawyer. And there's a lot of truth to that because you have to have prepared people. So I don't think I'd be where I am today without him. Don't agree with him all the time.
Right.
No,
but,
not at all.
No, I haven't made many important decisions in my life without talking to him.
And Frank was a very good lawyer in his private practice also, and he was really one of the guys, or actually the only guy that I would ever, because I still had continuing cases, or I would have new cases that would come to see me, and I didn't practice at all because I was, an elected official and the law director, but he was still part-time and, a lot of time in his private practice.
Yeah.
So he was always the person that I would trust to send somebody to take care of the thing. So it's not just his knowledge as a prosecutor or his work ethic as a judge and so forth, but he had that as a private lawyer too.
As a judge, I know you've heard or read the things that he has said on the bench when sentencing people and things like that. You have to be pretty proud of him and the things that he does.
He's got a wonderful knack of, and I really don't have that knack or that gift. He has a encapsulating in a fairly short several words, depending on exactly what the issue is and so forth, and getting right to the heart of an issue. Really, proud of that. And again, it's an ability I don't have.
Yeah.
Janet was just here visiting also,
Yeah.
and Janet, by the way, has that same ability.
Yeah.
Janet can say in, you know, one or two sentences and then capitalize the real meat and get to the heart of something.
You're the brains of the
I-
operation,
I-
and they're the communicators. Would
Yeah,
you say
I
that?
talk around with my hands.
Did he call you that? Did he actually call you that? All the time.
Yeah. I will say that, I mean, do you want me to talk?
Yes, please. No, go for it.
As much as there's times where, you know, you're wondering what Tom's doing or this and that, he was also a great friend. I mean, no one knows the story where, you know, I got diagnosed with a brain tumor really bad and found a place in Los Angeles. And I ran everything, you know, Tom Medicaid what I was doing, but they wouldn't accept our insurance, and they wouldn't cover it. And the lady just kept saying to me, it's not reasonable and necessary. So I went to see Tom because, you know, I was pretty emotional trying to make decisions. And he said, listen, you know, buy your plane tickets with your mom, David, this is going to happen. So I'm like, okay. About 10 minutes later, this lady, who wasn't very nice, now all of a sudden it's like, we just want you to get well. Go to Los Angeles and get well. So I went and saw Craig Chester, and I'm like, I don't know what happened. He goes, well, I know what happened. Tom was in there with her and said, let me put a brain tumor in your head and tell me what's reasonable and necessary. So we went out there, and things came out reasonably well. So that's something that I've never forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah.